Hello everybody, today I'm here with another Disney Heroes Battle Mode hero concept, and this time I have created KAA from the Jungle Book, and this was suggested to me by Dario Bermudez. I honestly don't know how popular this is going to be, but I think I just really wanted to create KAA, so that was kind of my inspiration for it. So let's look at the character design itself. So for this one, I went a little bit I didn't do as much lighting as in the previous two, and I think that's kind of against the style actually, and I kind of wish I would have done that differently, but I feel like I did more shading, and then the lighting I did a little bit less of. And I feel like it should probably be a little bit of the opposite of that. The lighting kind of just makes the character stand out a bit more against the blue background too. And for the rest of the design, I think it turned out pretty great. I really like it. The lines on the like the belly and on the bottom of his face, I really like how those turned out too. And then his eyes, I gave like the hypnotizing eyes, just to make it a little bit more visually interesting. And obviously that's going to be one of his skills. How could it not be? But it was a lot of fun making those eyes too, and the design on like his back was fun to make as well. It wasn't too difficult to make, but it still took a very long time. I think I was just being very careful with everything, but it looks very simple, but it really wasn't. And also I wanted to make sure to get at least a little bit of the length of his neck. I'd imagine that he would always just be like off screen. So like the back of him would be just a little bit off screen, and he's always just hanging out at the back. So that's kind of why I drew him with just his neck sticking out. He can get very long, so that would definitely work just fine in game. And other things, I really do like how the shading turned out. I just think there needs to be more lighting on it too, I guess. But overall, I really like it, and I hope you guys really like it too. But let me know what you think of this design as well. Let me know if you like the idea of it, adding KAA, sorry. He's not like the biggest character ever, but he's pretty cool, I think. And I think it's time to get another Jungle Book character too, whether it's Mowgli or Bagheera or whoever. But KAA would be a fun addition, and he has a cool move, which I guess now is probably a good time to start talking about his moves. So the most obvious one would be some kind of hypnotizing move. And it would maybe just work as a charm, or maybe they would create his own specific move of hypnotizing. But I would imagine it would just be the same, where they just attack their own teammates, just like how the charm works. So I think they could just use the charm ability for it. But that would obviously be his main gimmick, would be to hypnotize characters. So maybe there'd be a little bit more to it. So maybe they could just make like an advanced charm, and call it hypnotize, but it is just like a better charm, or a different charm than we have. I don't know. If you guys have an idea for that, let me know. And then my next idea was he kind of covers Mowgli's face and wraps his body around Mowgli's head a little bit. And I imagine that could work for characters too. He just kind of wraps himself around the top of them. That might be hard to kind of create though, because characters are different heights and everything. But it would work as like a blind or a stun, or just like it incapacitates them for a second and allows other characters to maybe attack that character, and then keeps them from attacking. But then KAA is also maybe rendered pointless, but maybe he gets like a better shield or a defense boost or something when that happens. And then the next move I had was when when Mowgli pushes his body down and he falls down the tree, his head kind of spins around a bunch, and then gets like plopped into the middle of his coil. And I imagine that could work where he drops on an enemy, or maybe it hurts all enemies or something, and he maybe goes up, or he goes back into the back of the stage, and then all of a sudden he falls on a character. And that would be a really fun animation to see too. And then finally I have like the tail knot, where he gets like kind of stuck, and then he flings himself forward into all the enemies and damages all of them. I think that would work pretty well as a move, and it's pretty funny in the movie as well. So yeah, let me know what you think about all those skills. And then for the final thing, I just had this maybe victory animation of him just laughing a little bit. I just like the animation, and I think it would work for some sort of taunting, you know, like a victory animation would work well for it. And for his friendships, I think a good one would be Jafar, just because they both have that kind of, he has like the snake staff, and KAA's kind of a villain, but not really. But they have a similar vibe going on, and both have a charm move kind of, so that's another connection. And then I didn't really think about this beforehand, I just thought of Jafar off the top of my head. Maybe another Jungle Book character. I don't know if he even interacts with Baloo or King Louie really, so maybe not. But who should I say? Maybe like a kid, since he is with Mowgli a lot. Someone like, you know what? I would say Russell and Kevin would be a good match, because Kevin really likes animals and would probably be really susceptible to the tricks of KAA. So I think that would be funny to see. I hope you like my on-the-spot friendship ideas there. But that's everything, I guess. I had a lot of fun making this one. Like I said, it took a while, but I'm really happy with the results. Again, I really like the shading that I did, but I was maybe a little too heavy on shading and not heavy enough on the lighting, so maybe I need to balance that out a bit more, or do the opposite with light shading and then a lot of the light. And I actually forgot to do it and had to go back in and do some of it. I feel like I could have done more, but a lot of the areas I feel like I should have done it on were already covered with shadows, and I felt like it'd be weird to have both of them on one spot, so I don't know. But either way, like I said, I had a lot of fun. Keep giving me your suggestions. I've gotten a bunch of suggestions from you, and this was picked from one of you, so I really appreciate that, and I will continue to keep making these because I'm having a lot of fun so far. So thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.